Welcome back to Pop Pills, the show that hits harder than Frank Dux on a brick-breaking bender. Which is impressive because Frank treats bricks the way that reality treats his resume. Today's dose is Bloodsport, the movie that made martial arts cool, the 80s sweaty and stretchy pants a health hazard. This movie is directly responsible for more men learning their bodies have limits.
My back! Oh, my back!
The same men who now swear jiu-jitsu is great for longevity while walking like they lost a fight with a staircase. Let's go to the Kumite. Bloodsport claims to be based on a true story. Keyword, claims. The same way that your uncle claims he almost joined the Navy SEALs.
Hey, where are we? I have no idea. I've never been outside the States. Wait, what?
Frank Dux said that he fought in a secret underground tournament called the Kumite. No proof it ever happened, no photos, no witnesses, no records, no survivors, no Yelp page, no passport stamps, no dental records, no blurry VHS footage discovered in a garage, no guy who won second place and won't shut up about it. Frank Dux's entire story sounds like if a 12-year-old told their dad they won a ninja tournament at recess.
Have you ever had a dream that you could?
A story that starts with, "You wouldn't know him," and ends with, "They made me sign an NDA." But Hollywood didn't care. Hollywood heard secret death tournament and immediately suspended its critical thinking. They heard the pitch, shrugged, and said, "We are making this movie." Immediately. Bloodsport isn't just a martial arts movie. It's actually the father of the entire tournament fighter genre. This movie didn't invent the genre, it just skipped consent and just made it canon. It birthed Mortal Kombat, UFC marketing, every 90s martial arts VHS cover ever, Jean-Claude Van Damme's career, every gym bro doing the splits and then immediately regretting it, every man who claps chalk before lifting groceries. Olympics are 4 years away. It's gonna be fine. It's training. This is what you trained for. What happens here is not your business. I'm covered in baby powder. What do you care? Every guy who thinks stretching is optional and every whispered, "I could fight that guy," in a bar.
It's who's the boss in here? Because the new boss just walked in. That's right.
Bloodsport didn't walk so others could run. It did the splits on 2 chairs and then let everyone else try to catch up. It also casually ended the arguments about whether flexibility actually matters. Little known Bloodsport facts. Fact 1. Van Damme splits, 100% real. No wires, no tricks. Some people wake up sore. Van Damme just wakes up aerodynamic. Fact 2. Studios tried to replace Van Damme. They tried to replace him until they realized the role required both acting and defying anatomy. Fact number 3. The Dim Mak brick break, he actually broke the bottom brick. Most people don't know that. Crazy. Fact number 4. Chong Li, he was a legend. Bruce Lee trained him. Enough said. Fact 5. The sweat, real. Was filmed in Hong Kong with no AC. The mats smelled like soup, according to eyewitness, nose witness reports. The movie is so sweaty, it should come with a hydration warning.
What the hell?
Fact number 6. The soundtrack is a masterpiece. That soundtrack doesn't play. It actually motivates poor decisions to this very day. Training montage, breakdown. Bloodsport has one of the greatest montages in cinema. Rocky montages trained you to believe. This one trains you to accept pain as a policy. We get bamboo stretching, blindfold combat, bucket catching, chair splits, pain for breakfast, more pain for lunch, pain as instruction, silence as feedback, and enlightenment punched into him. This montage inspired more gym memberships than all of Planet Fitness's ad dollars combined. All right, let's talk about Frank, the man behind the myth. Frank claimed he won a secret underground Kumite tournament. Investigations found no Kumite, no records, no fighters, no trophies. He did order his own though. No CIA career. They literally said, "Who?" The CIA responded the way adults do when a child lies, with confidence.
I don't believe it. You lied.
No proof of any of the world records he's claimed. No corroboration, no timeline, just a really, really aggressive commitment to the bit. It's like Bigfoot telling you he trained ninjas and then won the Olympics, and Hollywood just believed him and said, "Okay, but what if Bigfoot had abs?"
Tonight's the night.
Final verdict, Frank's story is almost definitely made up. But it did inspire one of the greatest martial arts film ever. And honestly, I'll take that trade, because facts expire. Myths with roundhouse kicks live on forever. Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. The fighting styles. The Kumite is a buffet of martial arts. You've got Muay Thai, karate, sumo, taekwondo, monkey style, street fighting, capoeira, whatever that guy biting people was doing. That really wasn't a style though, that was just really weird unsolved issues. And then there's Chong Li. His fighting style? Violence. Chong Li doesn't fight. He negotiates with consequences. Now that we've acknowledged Bloodsport is basically a legendary campfire story told with roundhouse kicks, let's dig into the stuff that even hardcore fans usually miss. This is where the movie stops being a martial arts flick and starts being pure survival cinema. The movie was actually saved in the editing room. Bloodsport did not test well in early cuts. The studio felt it was too stiff, too slow, not charismatic enough, which is essentially code for he's not talking enough for American audiences. Correct decision, by the way. Jean-Claude Van Damme was almost replaced in post-production focus. The solution? They actually recut the movie around his physicality. More slow motion impacts, more reaction shots, more emphasis on movement over dialogue. They didn't rewrite the character, they just reframed him. That editorial decision is why Van Damme actually became the star after filming Wrapped. Van Damme's body language was the one doing the acting. JCVD's English was very limited at the time, and the filmmakers knew that. Instead of fixing it, they actually leaned into silence. Frank Dux barely talks, mostly because his calves are delivering all the exposition. He watches, he bows, he breathes. That restraint gives him mystique. It's the same logic that Clint Eastwood westerns used. A large portion of the Kumite audience, not actors, not extra, just people told, sit here, react big, and just please don't ask us any questions. Which explains the wildly inconsistent reactions, people clapping at questionable moments, and a general, what the F am I watching vibe. Ironically, that confusion makes the tournament feel underground and real. Bolo Yeung was the real threat on set. He was older, stronger, more experienced. This man doesn't warm up. He arrives pre-threatening, and Van Damme knew if he didn't look convincing against Bolo, his career was over. And that tension is real. When Chong Li stares JCV down, that's not acting bravado. That is two men measuring consequences. The brick-breaking scene was a negotiation tool. That iconic brick-smashing moment wasn't just intimidation. It was the filmmakers saying, this is the bar. And everyone else immediately failed to clear it. Every other fighter exists to make Chong Li feel unstoppable. If that scene doesn't sell fear, the finale collapses, which is why it's shot like a horror reveal and not a fight demo. The music is doing way more work than you think. The synth-heavy soundtrack is basically emotional steroids. Slow-mo hits land harder, losses feel catastrophic, and victories feel mythic. Take the music away and the movie loses half of its power. This is Rocky logic applied to martial arts, and it absolutely carries the film. Yes, Frank Dux was involved, and no, he did not have final say. The movie version of Dux is more disciplined, more honorable, and more heroic. Reality was a lot messier. The film didn't adapt a man, it adapted the myth that he was telling about himself, and that is a very key distinction. This movie taught a generation how to move. People didn't just watch Bloodsport, they copied it. Stretching routines, training montages, fighting stances, even breathing patterns. This movie influenced gym culture, martial arts schools, backyard training sessions.
You want to go do karate in the garage? Yup!
And that impact is cultural, not cinematic. Why does it still hold up? Bloodsport survives because it doesn't pretend to be realistic. It pretends to be ritualistic. Rules, ranks, ceremony, honor. It feels like stepping into a forbidden space. And that feeling overrides logic. So yeah, Bloodsport might not be true, but it earned its legend and didn't convince you with facts. It convinced you with discipline, pain, and commitment. And whether or not the Kumite ever existed or not, every kid who tried splits in their living room afterward knows one thing for sure. Something real happened, mostly to hamstrings nationwide. And now, the muscles from Brussels, the king of kicks, the lord of the splits, and the man who moves in slow motion because speed waits for him. Jean-Claude Van Damme. When you got the script, did you know Bloodsport would become the defining martial arts movie of its era?
It's hard for me to answer, but it's a long story. Anyway, I came at the right time, at the right place, and they gave me the right script, Bloodsport. And basically, Bloodsport was a big billboard of a guy called Jean-Claude Van Damme. And because of that movie and because of what I was capable of doing, it became what it is. Simple like that. The style of martial arts we did was kind of scientific martial arts. Stuff that people never saw before on the screen. And that's why Bloodsport became famous.
Your kicks, your form, your movement, nothing has aged. How much of the choreography was planned and how much of it was just pure Van Damme instinct?
And those fight scenes were choreographed by me one by one. Arnold Nude, I think that's his name, was a second unit director, a great guy. And I said to him, let's put 4 cameras, all wide angle, so people know it's no BS, right? So we put 4 cameras around the ring, no editing, no cutting, chop, everything wide angle so people, they can see all those moves on a truthful way. So it's no cable, no CG at that time. So people, they felt reality. I like to be involved in my choreography because I know what I can do. I can kickboxer, all those training scenes and everything. Who can tell me to do so when you never saw this before on the screen? So I know what I was capable of doing that people never saw before on the screen. So I did some amazing stuff.
Chong Li is still one of the greatest villains ever filmed. Any behind-the-scenes stories that you can share with us?
Great guy. When I met Chong Li, understand something. Bloodsport, it's a legend type of movie. We did have some cool time together. He took me out at night to some different restaurant, eating different types of Chinese food. He told me a story that Bruce Lee was so strong that he was capable of holding a Coca-Cola can with the pressure of his hands. He was capable of opening a Coca-Cola can. All of you who are listening to me right now, lots of love, and I will talk to you soon. Jean-Claude Van Damme, lots of respect to all of you. Thank you so much.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, the only man who can knock you out but still respect the art form. Thank you, brother. Why the ending still slaps. The final fight, still incredible. Frank fighting blind, cinema. Frank screaming as he lands the final blow? Art. That scream added 5 pounds of muscle. And zero understanding of recovery time. Chong Li going down? Legendary. Bloodsport ends like a protein shake mixed with triumph and blended with denial. Alright guys, side effects here. They might include attempting the splits, pulling 14 muscles, practicing roundhouses alone, whispering Kumite dramatically, wearing tank tops to feel powerful, and believing stretching is a personality trait. So yeah, Bloodsport isn't a movie. It's a movement. It's a montage. It's a martial arts baptism. And Jean-Claude Van Damme is its prophet. And flexibility is the doctrine. Now, go stretch. Trust me, or don't. This movie is literally warning you all the way. All right, guys, pop pills, your prescription for pop culture.